violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get into the video.
Asking for help, finding out more information on a shooting that happened on Kennight Drive. They say a man in his 40s was shot and he died of his injuries. It happened before 1 o'clock p.m. today. So if you know anything about this shooting,
Man, they killing the old heads. Man in his 40s, shot and killed, taken out by none other than these super gremlins on Demon Time. And this is Jacksonville, very demonic area right now. It's not really much to say, man, but it's going on everywhere, y'all.
just call police, or you can always call Crime Stoppers. You can, of course, remain anonymous. That number is 866-845-TIPS.
What you're looking at is the newest addition to the Escambia County Sheriff's Office fleet. It is a 2017 Corvette Z06 at zero cost to taxpayers.
Wow, that's pretty sick. And obviously they seized this vehicle probably from a scammer or a trapper or whatnot. And I think that this is something that they should probably make common practice. If they're seizing the vehicles, they're just going to send them off to auction anyway. You might as well use them for police cars, cut costs. So this is definitely a creative way to, you know, lessen the burden of safety on the taxpayer.
The car itself was seized, and then the Escambia County Sheriff Foundation paid for the wrap. As you can see, we wrapped it as a cruiser car, the sheriff, and then we have on the left-hand side, we have some ships paying homage to Don Tristan DeLuna. On the other side, we have Blue Angels paying homage again to the Blue Angels that are unique to Pensacola and to Escambia County. This car would not be possible if it were not for the hard work of the men and women of the Escambia County Sheriff's Office and also the Escambia County Sheriff Foundation. The foundation, we have our president, Brian Williams, is here. We have our vice president, Whitney Lucas, is here, who is also serving as the project manager. So there are police cars that we have that are designed to put bad guys in. This police car is designed to put the good guys in. We're going to use it for public engagement, and again, it cost zero taxpayer dollars. It didn't come from the fleet. It didn't cost a dime of taxpayer dollars. But
So y'all ain't going nowhere. They finna hawk you in if you try to slide off.
We're going to make use of it. I do want to say a special thank you to our garage, because getting the car here was one thing, getting it wrapped is one thing, but then we had to finalize it. So I have to say a special thank you to Jake Lucas, who is our garage manager. He's also drove it over here and did him a good job. We have Chad Malden, we have Robbie Kent, and Jack Reed. Did a good job working day in, day out, trying to get this car to look as beautiful as it is right now. So Cool Carts was the company that did the wrap, and the Escambia County Sheriff Foundation is who took care of it.
Whether you live in Florida or visiting, you may need to watch the music volume in your car, or you could face a fine.
West News tonight, Gabrielle
She cold.
tells us about a new law that allows officers to ticket drivers that are playing loud music from their car.
Starting July 1st, a new Florida law will allow law enforcement officers to ticket drivers that are playing music too loudly from their car.
Hey, man, I'm just gonna say, hey, they are tired of these super gremlins. This is another level, you know what I mean? And playing your music too loud in your car is definitely a public nuisance in many ways. Especially like the OD type of stuff that you'll see, you know, dudes got 12 subs in a car or stuff like that. I mean, it gets kind of crazy. Do I think they should be super petty with this? No. But I do think that this is this policy is a direct response to the demon time activities that have been occurring ever since 2020.
That it can be heard at 25 feet from the vehicle.
Maybe 100 feet, that's fair, but 25, it's a little pushy.
But if it's really to cut down the noise, then, you know, I think it would help in some respect.
Wow, so we got a brother who said, all right, hey, I'm tired of these super gremlins. And you know, he's definitely not a super gremlin. Okay, he's got the straw hat, look like a country boy. And he's just trying to keep the peace in his city.
In some respect.
Turn it down, keep it down. Orange County Sheriff's Office shared the message with its social media followers on Thursday, detailing the new rule.
Kind of keeping the peace. So some of these stereos that are playing out there are so loud, they're actually dangerous.
Orange County Lieutenant Mike Crabb says if an officer can clearly hear the music 25 feet from the moving or parked car it's playing from, it can cost the driver a $114 fine.
Average vehicle is about 18 feet long. So that kind of gives you an idea. If I'm even 2 cars behind you, I'm at least 36 feet on the average.
The law will especially focus on car music that's louder than necessary for convenient hearing in areas with churches, schools, and hospitals.
Anytime I get in the car, first thing I do is play music. So for me to know that by next week we're gonna get ticketed, that's kind of kills my vibe.
Well, I mean, it's not that you can't play the music, it's just that you can't play it too loud. There's a difference.
Living in the area where there's a lot of downtown activity.
Downtown activity, you say. What he's talking about are these super gremlins on demon time.
You know, there are cars that come through at 1 o'clock in the morning with their blaring music, you know, bumping through the neighborhood. So
Lieutenant Crabb says the goal is to protect everyone on the road.
From a safety standpoint, they might not hear the ambulance, the police car, the fire truck that's trying to get through the intersection. We're not trying to target somebody just trying to listen to music and have a good time. But there is a limit to the noise that you can create from your vehicle.
Sanaya Rodriguez, Watch 2 News.
All right, music lovers, beware. Turn your music down, or you could be shelling out more than $100. The new state law goes into effect in just a few days, and as Fox 35's Elena Shirazi reports, distance matters with the new law.
Florida drivers, getting in your car and cranking up the music to your favorite song may cost you.
And that's not what they were talking about. That wasn't even that loud, honestly. They're talking about the y'all know what I'm talking about.
Burroughs just bought 2 new 12-inch speakers for his car.
So this is the one that's in here now.
Like many people, he
has a shitty speaker. He just bought it. He needs to take it back.
He's a fan of blasting music on his morning and evening drives. But now, music lovers, a new Florida law says you may need to turn down the volume or get a ticket.
Just because they say it's too loud, I mean, who's to tell if it's too loud or not?
And all of a sudden a car comes by and it's like, boom, you know. The only word I could think of is obnoxious.
Orange County Lieutenant Mike Crabb says if an officer can clearly hear the music 25 feet from a moving or parked car, it can cost the driver $114.
We're looking at it from a kind of keeping the peace and a public safety issue. So keeping the peace is pretty simple. Obviously, you're going through a neighborhood and cranking the music really, really loud, and the thumping noises from the woofers, then that certainly is.
Told you.
It is not peaceful while you're trying to be at home and enjoying your time at home.
Crabb says loud music poses a safety issue because some stereos are so loud, drivers coming around a corner may not be able to hear emergency vehicles. The law will especially focus on music that's louder than necessary in areas with churches, schools, and hospitals.
We are not trying to suppress anybody's right to listen to music. What the law says and what we're going to enforce is that you may not be able to necessarily share your music with everybody that's around you.
The Orange County Sheriff's Office says this new music rule goes into effect on July 1st. In Vieira, Alina Shirazi, Fox 35 News.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Frederick Douglass, where a shooting just took place. And as you can see, it's a pretty rough area. So I'm basically risking my life reporting on this madness. So make sure you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Like the video, hell, share the video. And make sure you go ahead and leave a comment down in the comments section to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this son violence in the streets. I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
Music down. That's the message the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office has for drivers. Starting July 1st, you could get ticketed for having your radio too loud. News4Jax reporter Renee Beninati is joining us live at JSO headquarters to break down the statute that will soon be enforced. Renee, you also talked to community members. How do they feel?
Mary, I did. They had mixed feelings about this. Some were thankful that officers here at JSO are enforcing this because they've dealt with loud traffic issues near their homes. Others are worried about authorities. They believe they are targeting a specific group of drivers.
And what do you think that specific group is, okay? Obviously, the community is calling racism on this one. And the thing is, the reality is, y'all done messed up Duval County. Y'all messed up Duval County. Y'all messed up a lot of areas. And they are trying to do anything that they can to stop you super gremlins from getting on demon time.
Starting July 1st, drivers in Jacksonville will need to watch the volume of their music, or they could get ticketed. We asked community members how they feel about this crackdown. What do you think about this statute?
I think it's messed up. I feel like they're just targeting people. I mean, why can't we play our music that loud if they make the speakers that loud?
I think it's a good idea. I think it's ridiculous to turn up your music so loud.
Noah Pryor supports the statute. He lives in downtown Jacksonville and tells me he is woken up frequently by music blasting from cars.
They speed really fast up the street to the point you can hear them very loudly at all hours of the day and night.
Yeah.
They'll stop at the light over here at the red light and you just hear the music blaring. It's a problem.
The statute says you cannot have music that is, quote, plainly audible from 25 feet away. We put that to the test. We turned up the volume in our news car to about 2/3 of the way.
Now let's see how this sounds from 25 feet away. From here you can hear the music with the windows up, but let's crank it up to the max volume. And that's what it sounds like, noticeably louder.
DeJuan Leonard thinks the guidelines are too broad for interpretation.
When they say plainly audible, that's basically any excuse to pull someone over, because if you have your windows down and your music up even halfway, plainly audible would be somebody on the street being able to hear your music.
Well, I mean, a lot of times these dudes are sliding on the ops with the music blaring, so people don't even realize that gunshots is going down.
On the other hand, hopes that the statute will limit the noise he deals with on a daily basis.
It's a nuisance. I wish it would go away. I know it's not easy for the JSO to be at all places at all times.
You will also need to watch the volume of your music near any hospitals, schools, or churches, according to the statute. Reporting live outside JSO headquarters, Renee Beninati, Channel 4, the local station.
So, Renee, what's the penalty if you get caught playing your music too loud?
Mary, we did hear from JSO tonight, and they say that if you are caught, that you could get a non-moving traffic violation without points. So essentially like a parking ticket. As for how much you would actually have to pay, that is still unclear. Mary?
All right, Renee Beninati reporting to us live. Thanks, Renee.
Of course, it's never okay to shoot at anyone with anything, and the Orange County Sheriff's Office is sending that.
She cold.
Message again about a different kind of gun.
Yeah, they're concerned about a social media trend that's landing teens behind bars.
News 6's Treasure Roberts is at OCSO headquarters with the story new at 11.
Kids are shooting people with fake guns loaded with these. They're called Orbeez, which are water beads, and it's all a part of the
She cold too.
latest craze on TikTok called the Orbeez Challenge. Now, while some people may think this is a joke, the Orange County Sheriff's Office warns it may come with legal consequences.
So guys, the reason why I'm doing this is because I do have new information on BKB Pole, the rapper who was allegedly racially profiled by the two glider men who threw a rock through his windshield. Now, he was actually doing the Orbeez Challenge. He had the Orbeez Challenge gun in his vehicle like I outlined in the last video. So if you didn't see that video, make sure you go back to the video that I named Florida rapper BKB Pole racially profiled by Donald Corsi and Howard Hughes while doing Orbeez Challenge. Okay, I broke down the whole situation. He had the Orbeez gun, he was doing the Orbeez Challenge, and then allegedly he was speeding in the streets of a very affluent residential neighborhood, seeing his friends, quote unquote. But what we got wind of new information, rather, that he actually was speeding and driving extremely recklessly in a residential area. So I'm gonna have the clip of that video right after we play this one to show you guys how reckless he was. And you know, people are fed up about this stuff. That's why the blaring your music loud law, the House Bill 1430 something, whatever it was, they're implementing that law because people are just fed up with the demon time activities and they know what comes with it. That's the biggest thing. They know what comes with it.
Viral videos on popular app TikTok shows users how to load toy guns with water beads, also known as Orbeez. The first step to joining the Orbeez Challenge, which encourages people to shoot the water-soaked pellets at strangers while recording. Some call this horseplay, but the Orange County Sheriff's Office warns this type of activity won't be tolerated. Posting on Twitter, quote, "If you terrorize people with the Orbeez Challenge, we'll arrest you." Adding it would only take a moment of panic for someone to fire back with real bullets. OCSO hasn't reported any Orbeez incidents recently, but deputies in surrounding counties have made arrests.
So there's little green pellets in here, the little plastic ones.
News 6 reported an Amazon driver and family were struck by Orbeez fired with an airsoft gun in Volusia County. This body camera video shared by the sheriff's office shows them arresting two teens for driving around shooting Orbeez at random people. Over in Ocala, a 16-year-old faces misdemeanor charges after police say he acted as the getaway driver for two Orbeez Challenge attacks.
The teenager frequently is thinking, well, I've seen other people do this on social media. How could it be wrong?
Social media expert David Painter says this isn't the first challenge that gained traction quickly.
You know, the Tide Pod Challenge or the Milk Crate Challenge. And these kinds of challenges usually involve people doing things that were dangerous to themselves.
But unlike the ones he named, the Orbeez Challenge can endanger people who aren't voluntarily participating.
It's almost like playing a video game where the person who's the victim is completely dehumanized. They're like a character in a video game. And that's kind of when we're crossing a line, I'm afraid, and it's a big concern.
Painter, who also works with youth, says for kids going viral is frequently a goal, and for users, participating in challenges gives them some sort of a community feel. But if you believe you're just participating in a simple game, this one could get you locked up. In Orange County, Treasure Roberts getting results, News 6.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
So it is what it is.